I was in the shower, trying to loosen dried blood from my hair, after her son accidentally hit me with a broomstick over the last slice of pizza. My wife leaned in and whispered, "Next time don't flinch, maybe he'll aim for your throat." I got angry and said nothing. This morning my phone was full of missed calls. They were begging me to pick up. I'm literally shaking while typing this out on my phone at some random Dunkin', while my family blows up my messages. Been married to Fiona for 3 years now. She's got a son, Jackson, 16, from her previous marriage to this dude, Arthur. The first year was actually pretty decent. Jackson was kind of quiet but respectful enough. We'd game together sometimes on the weekend. Nothing crazy, but enough to feel like we were building something. I really tried, bros. I tried with this kid. About 8 months ago, something changed. Started with small stuff. Him forgetting chores I asked, leaving his shit all over the living room, talking back. Whatever, teenagers, right? But then it got worse. He'd wait till his mom wasn't around to call me rent-a-dad, or ask when I was moving on like all the others. Not making this up. Fiona always had excuses. He's just adjusting, it's a phase, he's sensitive about male figures, blah blah blah. I tried talking to her about it, but she'd get defensive. Somehow, I'd end up apologizing. Red flag city, but I was too deep to see clearly. Fast forward to 3 days ago. I got home late after a 12-hour shift, tired as fuck, hadn't eaten since noon. There was one slice of pizza left in the fridge from dinner, one slice. I heated it up, sat down to eat. Jackson comes stomping in, demanding my food. Me. I just worked 12 hours and haven't eaten, there's cereal or sandwich stuff. Him. My mom bought that pizza, not you. Me, trying to stay calm. Actually, I paid for it with grocery money yesterday. Him. Whatever, loser. I ignored him, took a bite. Next thing I know, there's this crack across the back of my head. The little shit hit me with the wooden handle of our broom, hard. I fell forward, pizza went flying, felt blood running down my neck. I turned around in shock. Jackson was standing there with a half smile, like trying not to laugh. Him. Oh sorry man, the broom slipped. The broom slipped, while he was what? Sweeping the ceiling behind me. Right. Fiona runs in, sees me bleeding. Does she check if I'm okay? Nope. First words out her mouth, "Jackson, what did he do to you?" Let that sink in, bros. I'm bleeding from my head and her concern is what I might have done to precious Jackson. I was so stunned, I couldn't speak. Jackson played innocent, claimed he was cleaning. The broom accidentally flew out of his hands. Fiona believed him instantly, didn't question it. She grabbed paper towels, tossed them at me like I was an inconvenience. Told me to clean up before you stain the floor. I went to the bathroom, in a daze. My head was throbbing, had a 3-inch gash bleeding pretty good. Probably needed stitches, but whatever. I washed off the blood as best I could, went to bed without another word. Fiona didn't check on me. Next morning, Jackson was smirking at breakfast. Fiona acted like nothing happened. I left for work still dizzy, but what choice did I have? That evening, I jumped in the shower trying to get dried blood out of my hair. It sticks like glue, no joke. I'm standing there, eyes closed, hot water running over my head. Feel someone in the bathroom. I open my eyes. Fiona's standing there, watching through the shower door with a weird expression. She leans closer to the glass and says it, the words that changed everything. "Next time don't flinch, maybe he'll aim for your throat." Her voice was so calm, like telling me the weather forecast. Then she smiled, grabbed her face cream, walked out. Like she hadn't just suggested her son should kill me next time. I stood there with the water running until it went cold. My mind was racing a million miles a minute. Had I misheard? Was it a sick joke? But that look in her eyes, nothing joking about it. After my shower, I checked my phone, saw a notification. Fiona had texted Jackson but accidentally sent it to our family group chat, then deleted it quick. I'd already seen the preview. He's such a pushover lol, bleeding like an emoji. That's when something in me snapped, not rage snapped, more like everything became crystal clear. This wasn't a family. This was me bankrolling 2 people who actively hated me. I pretended everything was normal that night. While they watched shows, I went through Fiona's phone. Yeah, I know her password. She uses the same one for everything, Jackson's birthday. What I found made me physically sick. Hundreds of texts between her and Jackson, laughing about me. her encouraging him to test my limits, telling him good job after he disrespected me. But it gets worse. She's been draining our joint account for months, sending money to Arthur, her ex, who apparently isn't the deadbeat she claimed. They're still in contact. She's been playing both sides. Found texts to her friends calling me her meal ticket and temporary solution until she figures things out with Arthur. 3 years of my life, and I'm a temporary solution. Then there were photos, dozens of my personal stuff. Messages to friends about how much they could sell it for, my signed baseball collection, my dad's watch. Things that can't be replaced. I put her phone back exactly how I found it, went to bed. Lay there for hours planning, while she slept like nothing was wrong. Yesterday I called out sick, spent the day documenting. Bank statements, screenshots, sent them to myself, deleted the evidence. Photos of the wound on my head. Started a voice memo recording at dinner. Got Jackson on tape making 3 comments about how accidents happen all the time while staring at me. I haven't confronted them yet. I'm playing the long game. They think I'm weak, that I'll take this forever. They have no idea what's coming. This morning, I left before they woke up. Drove around for hours thinking, planning. Stopped at my buddy's to borrow cash. Then I did something that freaked them out. I turned off my phone for 6 hours. Just enjoyed the silence. When I turned it back on at this Dunkin', I had 37 missed calls, 37 texts, saying, "Where are you?" and "We need to talk." And finally, "Please come home, we're worried." Worried. Now they're worried after his accident and her throat comment. I haven't responded yet. They don't deserve to know what I'm thinking. Trust me, bros, this story's just getting started. I've never been a vengeful guy, but for this, I'm making an exception. I'll update when there's more to tell. Right now, I gotta figure my next move while these idiots blow up my phone. Thinking I'll come crawling back. Stay tuned, this isn't over, not by a long shot. What's up, my dudes? First off, holy shit, the response to my last post. Never expected thousands of comments, thanks for having my back. It's been 2 weeks since I found out my wife and stepson have been playing me like a damn fiddle. 2 of the longest weeks of my life, but I promised an update when shit went down, so here we go. After turning my phone back on at Dunkin', I had a decision to make. Option 1, confront them immediately, watch Fiona spin some bullshit. Option 2, play the long game. I chose option 2, and bros, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I went home that night, acting like nothing was wrong. Fiona was pissed I'd been unreachable. Started a guilt trip about how worried they were. How Jackson thought something terrible happened to me, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, the kid smirking behind her back. I nodded, said my phone died, was helping a buddy move furniture. She didn't believe me, but whatever. That night, while they slept, I started what I call Operation Get the Fuck Out. First priority, money. Next morning, I went to a completely different bank, opened a new account. Changed direct deposit at work, told my supervisor I needed it ASAP. He didn't ask questions, "Thanks Mike, you're a real one." Next, I went through our finances with a fine-tooth comb. What I found was worse than I thought. Not only had Fiona been siphoning money to Arthur, she'd opened 3 credit cards in my name I never knew about. 3, not kidding. She'd been careful. Statements went to her email, minimum payments made on time so I wouldn't get collection calls. But she'd racked up over $8,000, buying shit for her and Jackson. Designer clothes, gaming stuff, a weekend trip I never knew about. My credit score was in the toilet. I had no idea. I took screenshots of everything, downloaded statements, recorded dates, times, amounts. Started a document, listing every penny that disappeared from our joint account. Then I did something that changed everything. I found Arthur on social media. Wasn't planning to message him at first, just wanted to see what he was like. His profile had pics of him coaching Jackson's old baseball team, posts about missing his son. Nothing like the deadbeat Fiona described. I took a chance, messaged him, said I needed to talk about Fiona and Jackson. He responded in 2 minutes. Turns out, Arthur's been fighting for more time with Jackson for years. Fiona's been telling the court Arthur doesn't pay child support. He does, I saw receipts. That he's verbally abusive, he's not. She's been telling Jackson his dad doesn't want to see him, poisoning the kid against him. Arthur sent screenshots, 3 years of him trying to arrange visits Fiona blocked. Birthday messages to Jackson, Fiona, never delivered. Court documents showing he's never missed a child support payment. My mind was blown, bros. This woman's like an evil genius playing us all against each other. But wait, it gets better. While digging in our home office, I found Fiona's old laptop, password protected, but she uses Jackson's birthday. Jackpot. Hidden folder full of photos of her and Arthur from 6 months ago. While we were married. They weren't just friendly pics, if you catch my drift. Now I had proof. Financial fraud, credit cards in my name, theft from our account, cheating, lying to courts, encouraging Jackson to harm me. But I wasn't ready to pull the trigger. I needed more. Bought a $40 voice-activated recorder online. Arrived next day. Hid it under the coffee table, where Fiona and Jackson hang out when I'm not home. Left it running for 3 days. When I listened to the recordings, bros, I almost threw up. The way they talked about me when I wasn't there. Fiona calling me her walking ATM. Jackson laughing about hitting me with the broom. Fiona saying she was working on Arthur to take her back so she could ditch the loser. They discussed getting me to put the house in both our names so she'd get half when she left. She'd been planning this for months. The recorder caught Fiona on the phone, probably her friend Wanda, saying the investment, me, wasn't paying off like she hoped. Because I was too careful with money. That I wasn't as loaded as she thought when we married. Sorry, I don't have a trust fund, Fiona. Some of us work for a living. I was seething but still played normal husband at home. Making dinner, watching TV together, sleeping next to a woman plotting to take everything. Then a breakthrough. I found Fiona's sister Irene, who lives an hour away. They haven't spoken in years. Fiona said Irene was jealous, unstable. I reached out on social media, met for coffee last week. Irene isn't jealous or unstable. She cut contact after catching Fiona stealing from their dying mother. This is Fiona's pattern. Find a decent guy, bleed him dry, move on. Irene had receipts, photos of jewelry that disappeared from their mom's house. Screenshots of Fiona bragging about her system for finding providers. Warned me Fiona likely had an exit plan, making me look abusive for sympathy and money from her next target. The whole time I'm gathering evidence, acting normal at home, hardest 2 weeks of my life. Pretending while knowing I'm living with people who hate me. Eating dinner across from them, watching Jackson smirk every time Fiona made a dig. Last Wednesday, my opportunity came. Fiona said she was thinking of taking Jackson to visit her cousin this weekend, 3-hour drive. Asked if I'd be okay alone. Would I be okay? Bros, I fought to keep from smiling. Acted reluctant, said I'd miss them, gag. Offered to come. She made an excuse about her cousin's house being too small. I gave in, said they should have fun. As soon as they left Friday afternoon, I put my plan into action. First, I withdrew my half of what was left in our joint account, just my half, all documented. I'm not a thief like her. Called my buddies Dave and Marcus, they showed up with a truck. Spent 8 hours moving all my stuff out. Furniture I brought into the marriage, electronics I paid for, clothes, tools, everything mine. Moved it to a small apartment I secretly rented last week, not fancy but mine, and she doesn't know where. I left her stuff untouched, left Jackson's gaming setup and things. I'm not heartless. Kid's been manipulated his whole life. Before I left, I put 3 things on the kitchen table. A folder with copies, not originals, of all evidence, bank statements, credit card statements with my name but purchases I never made. Screenshots of her texts about me, transcripts from recordings of them mocking me. Printouts of her conversations with Arthur, including photos from 6 months ago. A note that said, I know everything, lawyer up. Then I left my key on top and walked out. They weren't due back until Sunday evening. I spent Saturday and Sunday setting up my new place. Canceling joint accounts, filing fraud alerts on credit cards I never opened. Sunday at 7:43 p.m. my phone exploded, 28 missed calls in 30 minutes. Voicemails from Fiona screaming, crying, threatening, begging. Texts from Jackson calling me every name. Then changing tune when he realized I had recordings of him admitting the broom wasn't an accident. More texts from Fiona, threats, pleading, saying we could work it out, she didn't mean it, I misunderstood. When they got back Sunday night, the house was empty except their stuff and that envelope. No note saying where I went, no explanation beyond the evidence. That's when my phone started blowing up. It's been 2 days, I haven't responded to a single message. My lawyer got one last week, says don't engage, everything goes through him. Fiona's latest tactic, friends messaging me, saying I'm tearing apart a family, Jackson's devastated. The same Jackson who hit me with a broom and laughed. This morning I woke in my new place, it's quiet, peaceful. For the first time in months, I didn't feel like walking on eggshells. This isn't over yet, bros. Part 3's coming when the real fallout hits. Right now, Fiona thinks this is just me leaving. She has no idea what's next. Thanks for riding with me, the storm's about to hit. Hey my dudes, it's been a month since my last update and holy shit, what a month. Literally had to turn off phone notifications. This blew up bigger than expected. Thanks for the support. Reading your comments kept me from second guessing during rough nights. Where to start? The morning after I moved out, I woke to weird silence in my new apartment. For a second, I forgot where I was. That split-second panic when you wake somewhere different. Then it hit me. No Jackson stomping, no Fiona sighing when I used too much hot water. Just quiet. Made coffee in a cheap coffee maker I grabbed at the store, forgot mine in the move. Sat on my air mattress, hadn't set up my bed yet. Sipping coffee, watching the sun come up through blinds that weren't closed right. For the first time in forever, I felt a weight lifted I didn't know was there. Then I checked my old phone, over 80 missed calls overnight. 80, not exaggerating. Messages started hostile, Fiona calling me every name, threatening to call cops for stealing from the house. Shifted to confusion when she read the evidence I left. By morning, desperate. I wasn't responding, not yet. Instead, I executed the next phase. First, I emailed everything to Arthur, complete documentation of Fiona lying to courts about him. Manipulating Jackson against him, using child support to fund her lifestyle while claiming he didn't pay. Included photos of them together 6 months ago, from her laptop. Next, I sent a carefully worded email to Fiona's boss, not dramatic. Just asking if expense reports for fake client meetings were company policy. Attached screenshots of her texts admitting she pocketed reimbursements. Her company takes financial impropriety seriously. Then the nuclear option. I'd been connecting with Fiona's relatives on social media those 2 weeks. Her parents' siblings, including Irene, aunts, cousins. People she'd lied to about me, Arthur, everything. Created a private group message, added them all. Dropped a message. I'd left Fiona after discovering fraud and infidelity. Sorry things ended this way, thanked them for welcoming me. Added one attachment, a document with dates, times, screenshots proving everything. Let me tell you bros, family tea spills fast. By day 3, Fiona's mom called her, demanding explanations. Her dad was apoplectic about the fraud. Her aunt, who loaned Fiona money based on lies about me being abusive, threatened legal action. Meanwhile, my lawyer filed for divorce and financial separation. Filed fraud reports for the credit cards in my name. Filed a police report about the broom assault, not to charge Jackson but to document officially. Day 5, Arthur's lawyer contacted Fiona about revisiting custody based on new evidence. Lying to family court judges about the other parent is frowned upon. Who knew? Day 7, Fiona got suspended from her job pending investigation into financial irregularities. Day 10, I answered one call. She was crying so hard I could barely understand. Begging me to call off the attacks, saying I'd ruined her life, she'd lose everything, job, custody, family, house. I let her talk herself out, didn't interrupt, didn't gloat, just listened. When she ran out of steam, I said one thing: everything happening is the direct result of choices you made. Then I hung up. Harsh maybe, but 3 years of manipulation and a broomstick to the head buys zero sympathy. The next weeks were a blur. Lawyer meetings, paperwork, blocking new numbers as Fiona tried friends' phones after I blocked hers. Then something unexpected. A Discord message request from an account I didn't recognize. It was Jackson, almost deleted it, but curiosity won. His message wasn't what I expected, no cursing, no threats. Just, I didn't know about the credit cards or the stuff with my dad, can we talk? Against my better judgment, I agreed. Coffee shop near my place, public, daytime, no ambush chance. When I got there, the kid looked different, smaller, shoulders hunched, dark circles under his eyes. Been sleeping on a friend's couch since electricity got shut off at the house. Fiona hadn't paid the bill in 2 months, using the money for who knows what. We sat in awkward silence for a minute before he spoke. Said his mom fed him lies about Arthur for years. After I left, Arthur reached out directly, showed proof of blocked visits, birthday messages Fiona never delivered. The kid was shell-shocked, his reality flipped upside down. Finding out your mom's lied about everything your whole life, that's rough at any age, but 16, damn. He admitted the broom wasn't an accident. Said Fiona encouraged him to test my boundaries for months, make me snap so she could paint me as the bad guy when she left. Most surprising, he apologized, not half-assed but genuine. Admitted he'd been wrong, angry for so long, aimed at where his mom pointed. I didn't forgive him on the spot, that'll take time if ever. But I said I was glad he was talking to his dad again. Turns out, Arthur filed for emergency custody. Jackson's with him now while Fiona claws her way out of her hole. As for Fiona, karma's not just a bitch, it's a kennel. Her parents found she'd been stealing from her grandmother's retirement fund, last straw. They've cut her off completely. Her suspension turned to termination, with potential legal consequences after a deeper audit. The house is in foreclosure. She hadn't made mortgage payments for months, pocketing my contributions. She's blowing up social media, painting herself as the victim. But the receipts I shared with her family made the rounds. Nobody's buying her story. Last I heard, she's staying with her friend Wanda, selling designer bags online for rent money. The same bags bought with my name's credit cards, ironic. Yesterday, I got served divorce papers, not from my lawyer, Fiona's budget attorney. Filings laughable, asking for alimony, half our assets, claiming emotional distress. My lawyer says it'll be thrown out once the judge sees the fraud evidence. Where am I now? Still in my small apartment, air mattress upgraded to a real bed. Got most of my stuff organized. Started therapy last week. 3 years of gaslighting does a number on your head. Dating? Nah, not ready for that minefield, need to unfuck my own head first. The weirdest thing, how normal everything feels now. Making meals without criticism, watching what I want on TV, not walking on eggshells. Ran into Jackson and Arthur at the store last week, awkward but civil. Kids staying in school, getting counseling. Arthur seems decent, got screwed over by the same woman who almost ruined me. Is this story over? Almost divorce should finalize in months. Credit card fraud investigations ongoing. Taking it day by day. But bros, I never expected to feel this again. Peace. Straight up boring, beautiful peace. No wife whispering threats while I wash blood from my hair. No stepson waiting to accidentally hurt me. No being anyone's ATM or punching bag. The other day, driving home from grabbing food, a song came on Fiona loved. A month ago, it'd have sent me spiraling. I turned it up, kept driving. That's when I knew I'd be okay. That's it, my dudes, the end of the craziest chapter of my life. Thanks for riding through it. Your comments kept me sane when I doubted myself. Special shout out to the bros who sent recipes when I mentioned living on ramen. That chicken thing with ranch powder was fire, not gonna lie. If I learned one thing, trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Document everything, and when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Peace out, Reddit.